Hi, welcome back to my channel where we talk about all things stock photography. Let's get into it. So, what can be a stock photo? So the good news is anything can be a stock photo. You can shoot your everyday life, you can shoot things, products, concepts, people, food, architecture, my favorite, pets, your kids, your backyard, your attic, your basement. Okay, so there are some caveats to this, of course. As you know, stock photography has been around for about 20 years now, so some genres are full. Stop, don't shoot them. They're already full. Unless you're amazing and you think that you can beat the pros, don't step into these. So things like apples, fruit on white backgrounds, babies, handshakes, headsets, fish in a bowl, smiling business people, graphs. Okay, so again, a caveat to my caveat. The good news is that these topics are super popular though. So if you can find a fresh, modern way to shoot these things, then they might do well. Trends change, fruits and vegetables go in and out of fashion. Hello, kale. Are we over you yet? And things have a shelf life. There's a lot of standard things as well that sell every year, like Happy New Year 2021, was it? But these need to be executed perfectly for you to compete with the pros. They have a limited shelf life, so they're not evergreen. We'll talk about evergreen content. Many experienced people are already shooting this, so if you want to crack into this genre, you should really do some research, have a look at what's being done, have a look at how well it's being done, and if you want to, dive in, give it a go. Currently, there's a huge push for diversity, you might have noticed, in the world, and the old trope of that beautiful, blonde, blue-eyed, Swedish-looking girl doesn't really apply anymore. Clients want authenticity. Stock sites are all screaming out for it. And I personally think one of the reasons Stocksy did so well when they first launched in 2013 is that their mantra was real people doing real things. And suddenly, in the stock world, these genuine moments, beautiful genuine moments, inspired by Instagram, or what Instagram used to be like back then, when it was real, or more real, or better at being fake real. So now we're finding that all the agencies have caught up and they're all screaming out for this authentic look and authentic moments, real people, real bodies. Okay, so some things that won't do so well are going to probably be fine art black and white, fine art nudes in general, and all of the amateur tropes that you might have dabbled in when you were first learning. Bees on flowers, ducks on ponds, sunsets, boats on the water, insects and other macros. They're so overdone. Flickr is full of them. All the free sites are full of these things. I mean, it's always nice to make money off my cat photos, but even coffee photos now. Coffee photos used to sell okay because great coffee photos weren't everywhere because the rest of the world hadn't discovered the marvelous flat white yet. But now coffee photos are pretty hard. Doesn't stop me from shooting them because it costs me nothing. And again, we'll talk about that again, that balance between sustainability. Does it cost me to shoot this? No. So I might shoot it and throw it up there and see what happens. But would I go out of my way to shoot something? Yeah, I have done that. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So we'll do a whole video on my stuff ups later on. What isn't allowed? Okay, so things that you can't shoot. There must be some things and usual things that might be considered hateful, but even then, honestly, those things might be used in a newsworthy article to talk about social justice issues. So again, I'm not sure that there's anything that isn't allowed. maybe like death to somebody chant placards and videos. I don't know. I'm not sure. I haven't actually looked at that stuff. There's a lot of restricted topics that you can't shoot for commercial use. We will cover them specifically in another video. And it's things like the Eiffel Tower at nighttime because the light show on the Eiffel Tower is copyrighted. If you're going to start shooting something, what you want to do is research. See what's trending, see what's overdone, and look for gaps. So we'll do a deep dive into how you might do that research, not necessarily what I think is a good topic to shoot, but just how you might do that research.
Okay, so let's say you're at home and you want to start shooting something that's in your house that's pretty common. So let's do maybe the fridge. We'll have a fridge. So we want to go and have a look what kind of images are already there. So this is Shutterstock. Let's just go to our filters here and turn off the others and just have photos. So down from 154,000 down to 75. So that's nice just to start with. So we immediately got rid of that. So now we can see what kind of photos are already popular and being sold. And what's the word I'm going to use a lot here when we talk about how to style our photos is aspirational. So it's not really authentic or reality to have your fridge looking like this, but I suppose it's considered aspirational. You will notice there's no labels on any of the products. In here, the eggs have been removed from the egg carton and put stupidly in the door like that. I mean, who has their fridge like that? This is a popular selling photo. So usually at Shutterstock, the first page, the first few lines show you what's selling the best. So if you have a look, these are the kind of images. I see lots of women at the fridge. There's a guy, dad and daughter, a sad trope of a man with no food. Lots of women, teenagers. There's a male tradie. Look, another male person, repairman. Classic apple in the empty fridge. I've tried that. These are kind of fun how they've shot from the inside of the fridge looking out. See this? This is kind of cool. So have a think and have a look. What's missing here? For a start, there's a lot of men missing. There's mostly women. Now, that doesn't mean that men are going to outsell women, but it certainly does mean that if customers are looking for more diversity or a different angle, there's a male version of that female one that we saw earlier. But see, all the men are shopping for fridges and the men are repairing fridges and the poor men are suffering with an empty fridge. But where are the men? There's a chef. There's another man with an empty fridge. It's all very interesting, isn't it? And men using technology with a fridge. Interesting. Here's a more realistic freezer. So far I'm seeing a good range of ethnicities. Let's have a look at Adobe stock. Okay, very similar. This photo here that's coming up first. Let's do sort by. Look, Adobe actually lets you. Oh, first of all, let's go to their filters and turn off filters, asset type, images. Okay, we still have a vector. So, subcategory. I suppose a vector is an image. Photos only. 93,000. This is the same photo that is on Shutterstock on that first page. So here, see that? So obviously that's a very, very top selling photo. She's also at Shutterstock, isn't she? The woman reaching in for the lemon. There it is, second line. So let's do sort by. Well, first of all, we'll do the same thing. What are we looking at? Mostly women. That one was at Shutterstock as well. So here's a man a man using technology. This is an interesting keyword situation where they've keyworded the word fridge for this little fridgy cold pack thing for the delivery guy. Obviously, all of the fridge tropes seem to involve fresh fruit and veg, and whether this is what photographers are shooting or whether this is what buyers are buying, I'm not sure. All great photos. Again, very aspirational fridge here, isn't it? With no labels on anything, and it's just full of lovely, slightly oversaturated. You'll notice fresh fruit and veg. So if you're thinking about doing one of these open fridges with all the beautiful produce inside, this is going to involve you completely cleaning out your fridge. I actually shot one of these when we got a new fridge, and I put a few things in and shot it, and it didn't do very well. It's an oversaturated market. So this is the same person, Andre. They've got their photo at Adobe, and they've got the same name as well at Shutterstock, and the same photo. So they're doing quite well to be on the first page for search of each of those. That's really where you need to be. First or second page, maybe up to 5 pages. If your image isn't on in the first 5 pages, designers are just not going to keep scrolling. You know yourself, if you're looking for something, you're not going to go past 5 pages. Here we go. This is asset data, popularity high, often used. Superstar photo. Not all designers want this. Sometimes designers actually want images that haven't been used much at all. So what you want to think about if we're doing this fridge search is have a think about what unique angle can you provide to this fridge genre that hasn't been done before. So something that I have that I could shoot is my robot vacuum. Maybe not everybody has those, a robot vacuum cleaner. Let's have a look at how many there are. So there's 7,000. That's at least a slightly smaller category. So if I was going to shoot my robot vac, and I have actually already shot my robot vacuum, and so I've done this type of thing where I made my own fake start screen, because you can't use the screen, the actual app that comes with the branded vacuum. You would have to make your own. We'll do a video on that at some point, on those extra things, those little extra things that you do to make your photos unique and stand out. The cat, I cannot get my cat onto my vacuum, which would be neat, but he absolutely is not interested. Look at this ginger cat just cruising, and that's actually my brand of vacuum. Mine won't do that. So having a look here, if we have a look at how many robot vacuum photos actually feature people, only 95 out of that group have children in it. So that's potentially going to be something that's going to land you. There's only 1 page of them. So that's a little niche that's not been touched on yet. And you definitely could do something, an angle around, you know how the robot vacuum keeps your house safe with little kids running around. That's quite a good angle. If we did just teenagers, 38 with teenagers. I'm not sure this dude with a beard I'd call those 2 guys with beards. They're not really teenagers, are they? But oh, and look, this one is mine here. I actually have a dirty floor in mine, #authentic, but not selling as well as these ones. The idea of having the vacuum cleaner with a pet as well is probably a good robot vacuum pet, probably a good idea. That's why people do buy them. And we've got only 67 for those 3 keywords together in combination. So that's pretty interesting. There's only 1 page of those. That's amazing. You do need to remove all logos. We'll probably talk about this again and again. Oh, someone's got like an iguana or something. You don't have a cat? Put your bearded dragon on there. Oh, cute. Okay, so that's definitely something, because talking about minimalism and cleaning is huge right now in the world, and every single person that lives in a house has to clean their house. So this type of topic covers everybody, and the robot vacuum, this is only going to increase in popularity as well. So I would definitely be calling this an almost evergreen content, because the concept of vacuuming is never going to go away. Maybe the style of the robot vacs will change over years, but for now, this is really good content that should potentially give you 5+ years worth of life. So that's something to consider shooting. Also, just vacuuming. Let's just do vacuum. 29,000. I've still got people. That's interesting. They don't reset your filters. Oh, 120,000 images for the keyword vacuum. Let's change it to relevant. Maybe that will change the results. Yeah. So Adobe actually has a relevance order for keywords, and so your first 10 get weighted heavier than the rest of them. So you want to think about that when you're keywording. You have to put them into a certain order. You will do that in the Adobe Image Manager. So I don't bother doing the order when I do my metadata within Adobe Bridge, but when we come here to the Image Manager, then you can move them around. It's not that hard to move them around. It's not too much extra work. 120,000 images for vacuum, but as we saw, they weren't all vacuum. Now you see that these ones still include, here's our first robot, still include a bit of old school vacuum. No logos on anything. So a lot of really easy options here for you to shoot something similar. And what you can do is try to shoot the same thing just to get yourself into the training of how to do this. And then I find naturally you will shoot differently because everybody has a different style. So even if you're trying to emulate whatever somebody's done, you'll end up doing your own thing. So you can have a look at this and go, okay, that gives me an idea. I can do something different, better, whatever. Again, it seems to be all women vacuuming. There's a man, but there's kind of goofy. Where is the goofy? Where's the images of a man just vacuuming like a normal person? Okay, here. Goofy. This is where stock photography can be a bit weird because those robot vacs can't suck up a banana peel. So don't do anything silly that's a bit unrealistic, because nobody is going to purchase your image because it doesn't tell a real story. When I take a lot of these photos, I actually am writing a story in my head. I'm at least writing the description or the caption, cute dog sitting on my robot vacuum, or vacuum packing meats for the coming winter apocalypse. Or robot vacuum does the work while I relax. You have something in your head that it is telling the story. This type of image here was a style a couple of years ago, very millennial style, where everyone's kind of standing deadpan with the object. I'm not sure that that's so popular anymore. So it's raining today, and someone else has already thought that'd be a good idea to take a stock photo. There's 2,600,000 of them. Rain photos. So I'm going to suggest don't do it. Looking at a lot of these, I've tried a lot of these photos. I've got photos like this in my portfolio somewhere, buried under 2 million other 26,000 pages of results for rain. So when you're first starting out, I would recommend you don't invest too much money before you get good at what you're doing. So look for things that you already have in your home, not old yucky things, anything that comes into your home that's new that you think maybe I could take a stock photo of this in some way. That's the kind of thing that you're going to shoot. Unless you're going to shoot something old and vintagey, that's fine. But let's say my husband bought me a record player last year. And I did take some photos of it. Look, there are already 194,000 images. Let's break that down just to photos on Shutterstock. Okay, thank goodness. 56,000 images. That's still quite a lot. 560 odd pages of record player. There's a lot of competition already. So have a look at what people are doing. This style here on the two-tone background is starting to fade a little bit. The millennial pink, unfortunately, is over, even though I still love it. You'll notice that even these very old record players still look very clean and new. They don't look disgusting. So please wipe down everything that you're going to shoot. Clean everything before you shoot it. So what are we noticing here? No logos. So people have probably in post altered these discs. They may even have cut out bits of paper. We don't know. Oh, this person looks like they've actually put a bit of round paper just over the top of the original. See that? There's white paper there. This one, they've taken the photo of the record moving, so it's blurred. So that's fine. No distinguishable, recognizable band names, logos, or anything. No branding on anything. How many record players does Adobe have? Gets a bit spammy at the end where there's a lot of non-record player happening. So what I like about this is that my particular record player is not in here. So it's nice to think that already mine is going to look unique. So I have got a record player here on Stocksy. I've got this one and I've got this one, which is actually a video. And so you want to think about all the different things that you can shoot. You know, shoot above, behind, around. Shoot the accessories that go with your record player. Shoot the headphones. Shoot the hand, putting the thing on. There's a lot of different ways that you can do a study of the record player or whatever it is that you're going to shoot.
Okay, so that's a basic look at how I would start to do some research into a topic that I wanted to shoot. So as for me giving you any tips on what's a hot topic to shoot, that really is kind of difficult. And apart from the obvious things, so look around, shoot diverse content. About 4 years ago, I noticed that, particularly in Australia, we didn't have very many Aboriginal people featuring in everyday advertising. And when I started researching, there wasn't even a photo of an Aboriginal woman in a cafe drinking a cup of coffee. And so that became my goal, was to at least create that image. That is one of the things that I love about Stock, is that we get to help tell the stories that we want to be seen out there. And that for me was an important part of Australian life, that I could make a difference in help. And actually since then, that push for diversity has gotten bigger and bigger. And I know that if I shoot with an Aboriginal model, that shoot will usually do quite well, provided I execute it well. Of course, you can't just shoot something and think it's going to sell. Depending on what kind of thing you want to shoot, you probably want to stay on top of what's trending. And so follow along with TikTok or Insta or the news or whatever's happening out there, what you see at the shops, and see what's trending. Of course, the real trick is to be ahead of the trends. And apart from the usual things, which we will cover in another video, the usual cyclical seasonal things that you can shoot for. So Christmas, Thanksgiving, back to school, Father's Day, Halloween, newborns, that type of thing. There are the trends that we can shoot as well. So what's coming up? There's going to be an energy crisis this winter, they're suggesting, ongoing COVID medical concerns could also be something to shoot if you're able to shoot in that genre. The USA seems to be in a perpetual political election mode. I don't know. Climate change issues are ongoing. So there's a lot of issues that are ongoing that you could think about what's going to be useful down the track. So maybe let's reverse engineer this and have a look at what you know you've already got. So instead of thinking, what am I going to shoot? You go, okay, well, I've already got a big stack of the photos of this. How's it going to do? So I've got some jet ski photos and actually didn't do any research. We went out, I took the camera, I shot my husband on the jet ski, and I still haven't edited them because they are full of logos and it's like, ugh. So I've been stalling. Actually, I've been waiting to do a video for you guys to show you how gross it is to take logos off things. Yeah. True story. Jet ski, 10,000 results. Is jet ski one word or two words? Having a look at what sells well. Blue skies. Bit hardcore stuff here. Skiing. An actual jet ski. Ooh, pretty. See, I hadn't considered something like that, of shooting actually the jet ski in the water and not having the actual person. And I'm looking at this, thinking about all the work they've done to take the logo off the front of that jet ski, and I'm wondering what they did about all of the water bubbles, because that's the challenge I'm facing right now. So actually everything I've shot is more like this or this. We did a late afternoon shoot, so it's most of the other stuff that's on Adobe is very Caribbean looking, Maldives kind of stuff. So at least I know mine looks different, which is great. That I always strive just to have mine look a bit different rather than look the same as everyone else's. I don't want to be competing with all these people. I want to be adding unique content that's going to stand out. Okay, so now I spilled the beans that I'm going to actually be editing jet ski photos. We will certainly be doing that in the next 2 or 3 vids. And my neighbor has just started up their lawnmower, so I think that's time to say goodbye. See you next time. Thank you.